Get started. Thank you very much for joining us tonight at our City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson. Here. Gray.
Here.
Cheatham.
Here.
Johnston.
Here.
Luritz.
Here.
Manon.
Here.
Glad.
Here. Thank you. If you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you would remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Tony Cycle from the Port of Senga.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In honor of those who have suffered from hatred in New Zealand and around the world, I wish to share a passage from the Buddha. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases only through love. This is an unalterable law. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases through love. This is an unalterable law. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases through love. This is an unalterable law. Mayor Blad, members of council, thank you for your generous gift of service to the people of Pocatello.
Thank you. It was very fitting today. Thank you very much. We will move to agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from March 7, 2019's executive session. B, treasurer's report. Council may wish to consider the treasurer's report for February showing cash and investments as of February 28, 2019. Good evening, Joyce.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Joyce Stroshine, Chief Financial Officer for the city. Tonight I'm presenting the Treasurer's Report for the month of February. Total cash and cash equivalents represent 92% of the city's monies, totaling $55,614,666. Total long-term investments represent 8% of the city's monies at $4,738,226 for total cash equivalents and long-term investments of $60,352,892. This amount is down $750,204 for the month of February. On page 2 of the report, I've highlighted key receipts for the month. Cable franchise fee revenue at $46,190. This amount is down 15.34% from a year ago. Transit grant, State of Idaho, $46,492. And then Bannock County Ambulance, $289,352. This is a payment on their contract, a 1/12 payment for the year. For ambulance service. Transit grant federal, $339,945. On page 3 of the report, this is the report on the trust funds. We have total cash and cash equivalents, $1,062,630. Then total long-term investments, $3,927,454 for a total cash equivalent and long-term investments of $4,990,084. We had total cash receipts for the month, $27,125. We had total cash disbursements of $52,230. And we had net change in long-term investments, a decrease of $31,499 for an overall net change in cash and long-term investments of a decrease of $56,604 for the month. Page 4 of the report, this report lists all the funds and their cash balances and the respective changes in each fund for the month. And I've highlighted the key one, the general fund, where it's at $15,000,000 $529,123 at the end of the month. This was a net decrease of $779,142. Page 5 is discussion and analysis for your review. And then page 6, this is the 5-year trend of cash balances for all the city's funds. And I've noted the general fund, and I've already stated it was at $15,529,123. We have 3 negative funds. 2 of those are grant reimbursement funds, so we'll have pending receivables to come in and cover. 1 is a debt service fund, and it is covered by future tax receipts, and that's for the animal shelter bond. But otherwise, this is a very healthy, strong cash position for the city. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Council. Any questions for Joyce?
Keep them good. We like that.
We do
Thank
too.
you, Joyce.
I do too. Thank you.
So, agenda item C, Sister City Committee appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Kent Hobbs to serve as a member of the African Sister City Subcommittee, filling a long-time vacancy. Mr. Hobbs' term will begin March 22, 2019, and will expire March 22, 2023. D, annual grant application, Arbor Day tree planting. Council may wish to approve a grant application and authorize the mayor to sign documents related to the grant, if awarded, from Idaho Nursery and Landscaping Association in the amount of $300. This is an annual grant and will include the purchase and planting of 1 to 2 trees on city property in association with Arbor Day events. Matching funds of 25% is available in the Parks Department and will be in the form of in-kind service, including A, planting, B, purchase and installation of trees, and C, celebrating Arbor Day during the environmental fair. E, appointment of environmental review officer HUD. Council may wish to designate Janae Mitchell to Community Development Block Grant Program Coordinator as the city's environmental review officer. This designation is for the purpose of reviewing and approving environmental assessments for projects being funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, within Pocatello city limits.
Mr. Mayor, since Janae is here, could she stand and be acknowledged?
Janae, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Could you do cartwheels and things like that for us, too? Not right now. Thank you very much. I mean, I thought I'd try the cartwheel thing. Who knows? Council President Johnston got you on your feet, and we may as well see how far you'd go. F, council decision upholding the hearing examiner's decision regarding a conditional use permit for 209 East Lewis. Council may wish to adopt this decision denying the motion for reconsideration by Gypsy Holdings, LLC, and Hanson Janitorial Supply, Incorporated, regarding council's approval of its prior decision affirming the hearing examiner's approval of a conditional use permit for 209 East Lewis Street. Council voted to uphold its prior decision affirming the decision to allow transitional housing and administrative offices as submitted by Idaho Housing and Financing Association on behalf of Aid for Friends Incorporated in the existing building at 209 East Lewis Street, subject to conditions. G, council decision, Stratton Estates Division 1 final plat. Council may wish to adopt this decision approving the final plat of Stratton Estates Division 1, which subdivides approximately 3.06 acres of land into 16 lots, 14 to accommodate 7 townhouse structures and 2 dedicated to stormwater retention, subject to conditions. This property is located near the easterly extension of Troy Lane.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Council President Johnston and a second by Cheatham. I'm sorry. You were quick. I've never seen you that quick, and he got you.
Oh, I got it that time.
Connie, could you please call the roll?
Johnston?
Yes.
Cheatham?
Yes.
Addison?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Barr?
Yes.
Anon?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Agenda item 4, communication and proclamations. We have one proclamation, and it is on Arbor Day. Will be read by Councilmember Heidi Adamson.
Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, lower our heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Therefore, Brian Glad, Mayor of the City of Pocatello, does hereby proclaim April 20th, 2019 as Arbor Day, and urges all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. Further, he urges all citizens to plant and care for trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
Who's picking this up?
Receiving.
You are, well, come on up.
Well done. That away.
You're what? Thank you, sir.
Yours is at least consensus.
I've got this for you if you'd like to say a few words.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Gary Bates. I work with the Idaho Department of Lands in the Idaho Community Forestry Program. One of the programs that we administer in the state is the Tree City USA program. And I'm here tonight. Hannah asked me to come and accept the proclamation. For that, we appreciate it very much. I heard in your opening statements that you're applying for an Arbor Day grant. We're pleased about that, and actually my wife runs Idaho Nursery and Landscape Association, so.
So we have an in.
You do have an in. We'll know on Monday morning if you did get that grant. But briefly, I'm here not only to accept the proclamation, but to give you the 22nd consecutive annual Tree City USA Award to the City of Pocatello. You have been a Tree City USA, as I said, for 22 years. There are 4 things that the city had to do to accomplish that thing that they have to do basically every year. The first is that you have to have a tree ordinance that administers for the care of the publicly owned trees in your city. The second is that you have to have either a tree department or a tree committee that advises the mayor and the city council for the care of those publicly owned trees. The third is that you have to spend a minimum or identify a minimum of $2 per capita for the care of those publicly owned trees. And the last and best is that you have to celebrate Arbor Day, which is why I was here today. I mentioned the $2 per capita requirement. That's a minimum requirement. It does not have to be cash from the city's budget. It could be a percentage of the parks, the money that you spend on your forester's salary and tree care and all the donated goods and services and stuff like that. With your population of 5,340 people, Pocatello identified a per capita average of $10.73 per capita. So for each person in your town, you're spending about $10 or identifying $10 that was devoted towards tree care. So on behalf of the Idaho Department of Lands and the National Arbor Day Foundation, it's my pleasure to present the 22nd Tree City USA Award to the City of Pocatello. We encourage you to continue to plan, care for, and plant trees in your city. I do have a flag. I don't know if you want to open it or not. I can just give all this to the clerk and she can give it to Brett or Hannah or whoever. So
I'd like to see the flag.
Let's open it.
Thank you.
Didn't we expect a photo op?
Look at that.
Nice.
The best part about my job is I get to get up and move around.
Like this?
Thank
That's
you.
the flag.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
Looks
nice.
great.
Nice.
Mr. Mayor, look this way.
Oh, we got a picture there. We're going over here. Let's turn it.
over here, too.
Man, not make it so hard on you. We'll turn for you.
Thank you very much.
You good? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that.
My pleasure. I'll take that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, super. Thank you.
I thought you were going to take a victory lap with the flag.
Yeah, I was planning. That was my plan. He said, no, I couldn't, but I was going to. I was going to run around here holding it above my head.
You realize that this is March Madness.
That's right. That's right. So thank you very much. What an honor it is to be recognized as a city like that. Thank you. We will move on to agenda item 5 is a calendar review. Council may take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. On April 4 at 5:30 p.m., clarification meeting. April 4, 6 p.m., regular city council meeting. April 11 at 9 a.m. will be a work session. Other events, as reminders, annual spring cleanup at the city cemeteries begins April 1. Crews will remove and discard all flowers and decorations. Citizens are asked to remove decorations, etc. they have placed on cemetery space if they wish to avoid disposal of these items by staff. Cleanup is expected to continue through the end of April. Compost happens. Yard waste only composting program begins April 1 and continues through the last week of November. Yard waste carts will be picked up on the same day as your regular collection day. For more information, contact the sanitation department. I'm going to have like 5 carts lined out in front of my house now with that. The Zoo Idaho opening day for 2019 session is April 6th. The zoo will be open on weekends only through the month of April. Entries wanted for the 2019 Portneuf Valley Environmental Fair Contest. Contact envirofair.org/contest for more information.
I think you ought to make a costume out of paper, Mr. Mayor, and model it for us.
I will tell you, there have been some incredible costumes and dresses and things made out of paper. I think there was a tax-free, Hannah, where are you at? Hannah's not here anymore. It was a tax return form
1040s.
dress, 1040s. It was amazing.
That was awesome.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to agenda item number 6, the Crossings Division 2. Ken Poppy of Portneuf Development, represented by Chris Adams of Creek Hollow and Associates Incorporated, has submitted a final plat application to subdivide 36.44 acres, more or less, into 15 lots. The proposed subdivision is located east of Interstate 15 and north of Chubbuck Road and is to be called the Crossings Division 2. At their meeting on February 13, 2019, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval with conditions. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda item, I think it was 6.
Yes.
And subject to all conditions.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the
Mr.
roll?
Mayor, I'll recuse myself, although I have no economic benefit from this, but there is a perception in the public that I'm involved with this, so I will recuse myself on the voting.
Okay, thank
You
you.
don't have to break a tie.
I won't have to break a tie on this one. Perfect.
You're not going to have one.
Connie, could you please call the roll?
Bray.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 7, short plat Sutherland subdivision. Victor Sutherland, represented by Peterson Land Surveying, has submitted a short plat application to subdivide 0.293 acres, more or less, into 3 lots in a commercial general zoning district. The proposed subdivision is located at South 5th Avenue and East Sutter Street and is to be called Sutherland Subdivision. Councilwoman Adamson. Councilwoman Adamson.
She's
please.
fast.
She's fast.
I didn't mean that.
I move that we approve the request or the plat with the conditions noted.
Second.
Thank you. We have a, boy, it's going to be a long night. It'll be fun though. We have a motion by Adamson and a second by Johnston. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Adamson.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Bray.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Lurick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, sole source declaration of latex emulsion purchase street operations. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of street operations staff and approve the purchase of GSB-88 2.1 emulsion sealing oil from Asphalt Systems Incorporated to be a valid sole source expenditure for the city's 2019 summer paving program, and authorize the mayor to sign documents related to the purchase. The product is a trademark material that no other company makes, and therefore is impractical or impossible to obtain 3 bids. The amount requested is 101 tons for a total purchase price of $86,880, FOB Salt Lake City, Utah.
Please go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve agenda item number 8, sole source declaration of latex emulsion purchase for street, subject to legal department review if needed.
Second.
We have a motion by Manon and a second by Lurick.
Do we need to authorize signature of documents?
Did you include the signature of documents in that motion?
And include the mayor's signature on the documents. Yes.
I thought she had. Connie, could you please call the
I missed a
roll?
little bit.
Manon,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Agenda item 9, microsurfacing bid street operations. Council may wish to accept the recommendations of staff and award the procurement bid for Type 3 fiberized microsurfacing service to Valley Slurry Seal in the amount of $610,500 for the street operations 2019 pavement maintenance program, subject to legal department review. Funds are available in the street operations fiscal year 2019 budget. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve agenda item number 9, micro surfacing bid, and make this subject to legal department review.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Bray and a second by Manon. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Gray,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, Salvage Tribe LLC Professional Services Agreement, Public Works. Council may wish to approve and authorize the mayor to sign an annual professional services agreement with Salvage Tribe LLC, subject to legal department review. The agreement will begin April 1, 2019, to provide technical support to the city's GIS system. The support service will be provided at the off-site rate of $125 per hour with a $2,000 per year mobilization fee. The cost is for services that will be split among the Public Works departments and is available in their fiscal year 2019 budgets.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilwoman Lurick.
I move that we approve and authorize the mayor to sign an annual professional services agreement with Salvage Tribe LLC, subject to legal department review.
Second.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11 is an ordinance vacating public utility easement located between Ruby Street and Pocatello Creek Road near Interstate 15. Said vacation was approved by council decision dated March 7, 2019, and all conditions contained therein have been met.
Mayor?
Council, how do you wish this ordinance to be read? Councilman Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor, I move the ordinance agenda item number 11 be read only by title and placed on final passage for publication, and that only the ordinance summary sheet be submitted for publication.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Adamson. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Kirk, could you please read the ordinance?
You really get going once you get going.
Hey, we absolutely.
Well, that's good.
Should have been here last Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't such the case.
An ordinance of the City of Pocatello and Municipal Corporation of Idaho abandoning and vacating the public's interest in a 25-foot wide access and utility easement between Ruby Street and Pocatello Creek Road near Interstate 15, Bannock County, Idaho, and more particularly described on the attached Exhibit K. The north 25 feet of lots 4 and 5, Block 6, Monte Vista Acres subdivision, Bannock County, Idaho, as the same appears on the official plat thereof, recorded February 21, 1958, as instrument number 329805, accepting therefrom the west 15 feet of the north 25 feet of said Lot 4. Got that?
Thank you. We've got all of it. Well,
No, and there's more. Sorry. Providing that the public utility easement herein vacated shall be distributed in its entirety to the applicant property owner in accordance with Idaho Code Section 50-311 as deemed to be in the best interest of the owners of the vacated property and for the public good, providing that this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. That's it.
all right, I declare that to be the final reading of the ordinance. Shall the ordinance pass? Thank you.
Adamson.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Cheatham.
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Lorick.
Yes.
Manon.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, discussion items. This time has been set aside to hear discussion items not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of this meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, there's a total of 15 minutes, 3 minutes per speaker. We have one signed up, Idaho Lorax. I am not seeing Idaho Lorax, so we'll move to agenda item 13. Council, thank you very much for your work today. It was a long day, and I appreciate your work. With that, we are adjourned.